that me and Mike have had this entire trip was about what time we should arrive back at Springs. And like most of our discussions, he's won it because it's earlier. And it's absolutely awesome to see you guys here. So, you know, when you're at school, you learn a lot of things that you have to accept at face value. Like, how do you know that Australia exists? I've never been there. But what I can tell you guys is that the earth is round. All the skeptics amongst us, we've been going west the whole way, and to arrive from the other direction which we left is the most incredible feeling.
So, I'm a little overwhelmed, I have to say.
There's your mate!
Hey,
there's your mate!
Hey! Come this side, baby. Come this side. So, and I mean, we've got friends from all over the place, from Cape Town. Olivia from Switzerland. Jeez, that's a surprise. I wrote to Charmaine. Was it your boobs I saw in the helicopter? I haven't seen it for a while, you know. They just look so big.
Mike, look this way. Charmaine, Mike. This way.
So, and thanks for all of you for coming out here and supporting us and being here for our arrival. It was a hell of a trip, I can tell you. It was just the most mind-blowing thing. We never really knew what we were getting into until that first night, you know, taking off from Pilanesberg when we said goodbye to the guys there, John and Andrea and Jay, when they flew back. And half an hour after takeoff, and suddenly we were in the darkness. And we'd never flown this machine in the darkness, and we'd never flown long distance, and we'd never taken off with quite so much weight. And, you know, immediately...
What's the story about that?
Yes, okay, James has got a story.
So on that first night, while Mike was in control of the aircraft, I think, we had some problems up to Pilanesberg, where our GPS had been switching itself off every 6 minutes. We discovered that later was because of this tracker, this white device on the instrument panel over here. And in the event, at one stage, in the middle of the night, the NGL GPSs switched themselves off, and we realized quite slowly, we only realized once we were in a spiral dive towards the right. And anyway, we leapt onto it, recovered, and we've been following this highway in the sky. Our instruments show us these green squares which we fly through. And just after we recovered, we were flying through the squares, but it took us about a minute to realize that the squares had turned red. And about another half minute to realize that we were actually flying back to Johannesburg. We weren't going to South China. So that was the first real excitement. And in fact, the two most exciting flights were that very first flight, and then the flight but one, you know, the second last flight, the flight out of Colombo. So let Mike tell you a little bit about that.
Well, what we've been dealing with is every time we land, we spend so much time dealing with customs and immigration and the airport authorities and bureaucrats and paying fees and all of that. And we were sort of a little worn down. And of course, every time we land, there's a lot of fees to pay. So we thought, let's not spend time in Sri Lanka. Let's get on and go. And my job was to change the engine oil in the dark, and check the plugs and check the engine, and fuel up, and James went to go and check the weather, and file the flight plan and so on, and pay the fees. And he phoned the guys in Exeter. Unfortunately, Tim wasn't there at the moment. But we dealt with the weather guys in Exeter. Oh, there you are, Tim, our weather guru. Yeah, right. Got us through, Tim, yay! Got us through. And they said to James, well, look, you know, tonight's as good a night as any. You're in the ITZ, and it's going to be lousy weather all the way, and you never know what tomorrow's going to bring, or what today's, you know, it might be better, it might not. So James and I chatted about it, and we decided, okay, let's go. And of course, once we got airborne, we flew into rain and turbulence for 3.5 hours or so. So that was very difficult for us and hectic, and it was quite interesting. Once the rain started to stop after we were flying for about 3 hours, James was in the left seat, and he was very quiet. Usually he's chirping, you know, giving me little bits of lip and chirping and telling funny stories. And he's always got something interesting to say. And he was dead quiet for that whole 3.5 hours. And then when it started to get a little bit calm, I said to him, "Sure, that was a bit scary, wasn't it?" He said, "I was absolutely terrified." So I was happy to hear that. It wasn't just me.